Hello there everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. It's been a while, it's been a hot minute since the last video, and I know how in the last video I was like, I'm sorry for taking so long with the last video guys, I'm sure the next one will be coming out soon, but then a little thing called Final Fantasy 15 happened, which is funny because it's the exact same thing that happened last time where World of Final Fantasy came out. So basically what I'm saying is, there won't be another video once the DLC for Final Fantasy 15 comes out. I'm very sorry. Actually, I finished 15. I am, aside from like the few final dungeon stuff, I'm pretty much at a point where I can say I beat the story a long time ago, but I'm at a safe point to say I am done it. So as such, we're going to be hopping back onto the Final Fantasy VII hype train, because now that Kingdom Hearts 2.8 is coming out, and I will be doing a Let's Play of that, and Final Fantasy VII Remake is in production full-time alongside Kingdom Hearts 3, we can fully say, like, we're safe, and I want to finish 7 before the remake comes out, and before the Kingdom Hearts also, because Kingdom Hearts 3 will of course feature many things from Final Fantasy VII, because that's the only thing Tetsuya Nomura feels comfortable pulling from. Aside from, one or two things from 8. Nothing from 9, though. The best of the PlayStation games. But here we have this quaint little rocky village, and oh my gosh, doesn't this place look extremely familiar? That's right, it's Nibelheim, not Niflheim. Nibelheim. Very different. But it's not burnt down. So, like, what the frick is going on? In fact, I actually still don't fully know as of this recording. I mean, it's been a while since I last played 7 too, so maybe it is said, but yeah, it's like, what were the flames? That's sure weird. Let's go exploring. Let's listen to this pupper, which makes just a whine sound. But there's all sorts of buildings and stuff here, each housing some very interesting things. Like, we can ask this guy his story. What's up, man? How's it going? Because, like, we're a little confused. We saw this place burn down in our memory. And he's just offended by the fact that we are questioning him. I do wonder what it would be like if you brought completely unrelated characters to this. Because, like Tifa, of course, you want to have her here for the fact that this is her hometown. But, I do, it's, I don't know, there's all sorts of things about, like, replaying this that you might want to see, but there's this weird creeper back here who's talking about some type of reunion. He did give us a luck source, though, so he can't be all bad, despite having the number 6 tattooed onto him, and rocking in the corner at the back of a hotel, saying he wants to go to a reunion. You know what? Let's not judge him, he did give us something for free, so there's 7. I know it's funny because I had a friend. His name's Adrian. He had done videos with him, and in those videos, like, he wasn't a Final Fantasy fan until until recently. But, like, when COD was announced for Smash Bros, he was like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to play Final Fantasy now." And to which I said, "Yeah, you should." And I actually got him to play 15, and he is absolutely loving it. And he's like, "Oh my god, now which one should I play next?" And I told him, get 7 on the PS4, because, I feel like 7 is one of the ones that, like, aside from being the Final Fantasy according to a lot of people, it's, I feel like it paints a good picture on the series as a whole, But, yeah, so there's something weird in this town. We got things, okay, that dude's talking about Sephiroth. We're just not going to question that? Okay, that's fine. People think we're lying, and there's people in cloaks everywhere with numbers tattooed on them that are saying they want to go meet with Sephiroth. Oh man, what, wasn't this our house? Yeah, he lived in this house till he was 14. What's going on? But it burned down also. Jeez, things are confusing. And I like how everyone is really offended by us, like, bringing that stuff up, because it implies that they know something. It's not just like, ha ha ha, you're crazy, what are you talking about? It's like, no, stop what you're saying. It's like, that's kind of, and then there's this guy in Tifa's house. He wants to become one with Sephiroth. He doesn't give us an item, though, so he's shady. He's immediately super shady. But, now, I think there is we'll be getting to it. And this guy's number 11. See, this guy gave us a turbo ether. He's nice, not you, person in the front. Now, I think there is a puzzle, quote unquote. And yeah, like what? Why are there all these dudes in Tifa's house? But we did get the platinum fist, which I think is really good for her. Actually, I lie. It's worse than the Tiger Fang, but it does give double materia growth. So, if you're going to be materia grinding, you always want those doubles and triple ones. Now, I'm pretty sure there is I didn't get it. But you know how I said before, you know, if you play Tifa's piano, then come back here, there's a puzzle or an item, right? Well, I went to play it, and I couldn't do it. I don't know what happened, but maybe it's later on. But like I remember reading, because of course I am using a slight walkthrough for this. I'm not using a full walkthrough. I'm using a slight walkthrough to just help me. And one of the things it says is be sure to play your piano in the past, and then you can come back here and play it now. Maybe it requires us to be later, but like I couldn't do anything with this. You can even, if you go here and you say you don't, if you can say like, yeah, play it, but then you forgot, it gives you all the buttons. And I think I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you want to play like the overworld theme, which I have no idea how to do. Lots of games do this, where they expect you to be able to just play music, and I'm not a big fan of that, you know? There's another game that required, like, an actual, like, you to place notes on a sheet. I forget which one. And I remember just thinking, like, if I didn't have a guide for that, I wouldn't be able to do it. Because, like, I'm not musically inclined. In music, I played percussion, which had one note, which was hit. That was it. So, we go into here, though, and go upstairs. Oh, hey, look, it's a little baby. And a thing. Thanks for the luck source. They all want their reunion. I do have to wonder how this is going to look in 3D. Because, I mean, I say 3D, but like in the remake. Because they're just like little black blobby people. Are they going to be like full black blobs? Are we going to see their face? Or I don't know. We'll have to see. But next up, we have a place that is entirely optional. But we can get something really cool if we go here. And that is the Shinra Mansion. And it is, I guess you could say it's an optional dungeon. Could you? I don't know. I say it is. Because it's always tough when something's like a dungeon, but it's like really not. But you might remember in the flashback, Sephiroth was here going all freaky deaky about learning about stuff, so we're gonna have to find where he is. But we're not necessarily looking for Sephiroth. We're looking for someone else. And I feel like for some people, also this is telling us how we're gonna be getting him. For some people, okay, let me explain. So basically we're trying to get the numbers of a safe, which will help us get something. This is the optional thing. You do not need to get these numbers. So there are 4 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. So 4 is listed there, but it's like rusted off, so like you can't see it. I needed a guide for this, because holy crap, this is crazy puzzle stuff. Like, and I feel like the only thing about this character is that, like, I think he's on the game cover. Is he? Is he on the game cover? I know he's in the game guide. Let's see here. I know he's in the guidebook. Okay, not like the cover, but like the guidebook one. He's not on the key art. Okay, no, never mind. Interesting. So, This character, I feel like back in the day, he would have been a big secret. Like, yeah, it's like you go in here and it tells you about it, but at the same time, it's pretty obscure. Also, this place has some weird enemies. So this dude is, it's Giro Felgo. That's his name. It's a Giro Felgo. He has both him and a chain as a selectable thing you can fight. When he's on the pendulum, he's capable of attacking the whole party at once for decent damage. I've taken about enough damage to be at critical health. There's a 1/8 chance he'll fall off and be unable to attack for the next 3 turns, after which he will climb back up the pendulum. He can be defeated instantly by using the enemy skill Laser or the spell Demi 2. Why? I don't exactly know. His name is a compound of 3 English words: guillotine, fell, and ghost. Good. Giro Felgo. So he is a ghost that died on the guillotine. Got it. Oh, hey, look! It's another piano. And as you see, the screen flashes when you hit the wrong note. So you can sort of assume how you're going to play like this. Like, this is a puzzle that doesn't bother me as much. But, so this one says 2 left. Actually, I lied. That wasn't the puzzle. Or was it? I don't remember. Let's see here. Nope, that's not a puzzle. Boy, I love doing these videos in post. At least when I'm doing them, you know, live, I can be like, whoops, in real time. We got the Twin Viper though. That sounds like a shooter weapon. Or no, it sounds like a ship from like a side-scrolling shooter. So these guys have an amazing name that I cannot believe is what it is. They're called Dorky Face. Dorky Face. In Japanese, their name is Fanny Face, which literally just means funny face. These guys pose moderate threat. They can use curses, which inflict silence. The Ascend ability is only used when the party has 3 party members affected with silence and paralyzed simultaneously. Let's see here. If the player does not have any resistant confusion, it is not recommended to use magic, as the character can end up using the spell against the party instead. As summons cannot be used against the party, using them is safer if you are silenced, though expensive to the party's MP. So yeah, these guys are called Fanny Face, or just Dorky Face. So I think they're meant to be, and I forget the name of it totally. It's like the Tanibosu or something. In Japan, they're like little weather men made of paper, and they're meant to like bring good weather. Like Cast Form from Pokemon is based on them. It looks similar. And there's like enemies in Mega Man and all sorts of things where you can sort of see that Japanese thing, but it doesn't really translate to North American audiences. And but whoa, don't you dare imply that, because otherwise you'll be called out wanting games to be censored, you know. I hate that. I hate how it's like, well, this like thing isn't actually like, you know, a reference that American audiences will get whatsoever. And people are like, so if you add an explanation for it or change it, they'll like call you out and say you're pro-censorship. I hate that. I've been reading a really great book recently on localization called Legends of Localization. This one is on Earthbound, and it talks about like all the stuff for JRPGs. So interesting. You need to, like, that is such a cool book. I really just want to be like, you know, tell the world how good it is. So we got the enemy launcher for Barrett here. Less damage, but more materia slots, which are super cool. Which is nice, because, you know, we got all sorts of materia. We got a lot of materia. We got a lot of things to go through. Gravity is interesting. Gravity is interesting in all the Final Fantasy games, because it's all about making sure that you, it hits for a % damage, right? Also, shoutouts to the fast forward function. I love it. It's really nice that there is, you know, so many options. I mean, the enemy launcher looks kind of dumb. It looks kind of like a potato masher. Kind of. At least from the small preview window I'm seeing here. But, he's trying. That dude's trying to get back up, but he's not really working out. I do wonder if they're gonna make for the remake, because they did confirm that all the characters will be playable in the remake, unlike Final Fantasy 15, where it's selective until the DLC. I do wonder if you're gonna get entirely different weapons for Barrett. I think that'd be super interesting, like ones that actually change up how he plays. We'll have to see. Magic Source, though, it's a good item. It makes it so that your magic goes up. And I'm pretty bad for any sort of game that has stat boosting items. I didn't use it here, but I'm pretty bad for any of those games or any of those items in games, because it's just like, I could give that to any one of my, characters who might need it, but at the same time, I could give it to my main character, who is probably the one I'm going to stick with for the whole game, unless I'm playing something like, a game where the character just dies. But for the most part, most JRPGs don't have a main character die. And most of the ones I'm thinking of that are exceptions are made by Square Enix, so... I like how Tifa was running backwards and then rotating thanks to the confusion, so she was just having a very bad day. So this one is written on the back of the lid of the box. Like, do you see what I mean when I say some of these are obscure as heck? Like, crazy. I don't think they're randomized, so if you do have a guide, you can totally use that. But I remember this one in here giving me trouble. It's just somewhere in this room. And Cloud will sometimes nod to this chair. And you're supposed to understand that nodding means you're close, but you need to look in the direction of where it is. I didn't get that. It's like you just keep looking down, and he looks down. And I remember doing this and being like, what the hell am I doing? It's really small. It's like the thing you're looking for is like a single pixel. So you just gotta walk and mash. Find that one tiny, tiny pixel that tells you the thing. That's why I say using a guide for this is not that bad, because holy crap, these are obscure. And I know this is blasphemous, and some people will call me out on this. Stuff like this, I don't want in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I feel like keeping it to be the same events, like, yeah, follow the same story. This is when we go to the Shinra Mansion and stuff, but and we don't want to go in there just yet. That's where Sephiroth went down. I don't want it to be the exact same method of finding this stuff. I do want there to be some differences. Okay, but see that question mark attack? You do want that to be given to one of your dudes who has the enemy skill materia. These dudes are called... They're called... In one of the strangest translations I've ever seen, it's called Jersey. Now, it's because in Japanese, their name is Judge. It's Jaji, which is judge, That makes sense. Jaji. But in this, they called it Judge. And I don't get it. So, a bug exists in the AI that when the right arm is lowered, attacking with magic will not lower its left arm. Thus, if the player wishes to learn the enemy skill, all question marks, they should not attack it till it casts it. The player has to be patient as there's a 1 in 6 chance of it casting it. Sadly, because Cloud did the block, we didn't actually get it. But, yeah. Weird name. Jersey. You gotta wonder what sometimes the translators were thinking. I think in this case, the translators were just given a sheet of the names and just told to translate them. And when they got Jaji, they might have thought, oh, like Joyzy. But it's not. It's Judge is what its name should be. There was a couple enemies in there that we didn't fight. There was the Mirage enemy. It is a mirror. It is only attack is weak physical attack, so it has no threat. But it has auto reflect on, so don't cast magic. That'd be pretty bad. It's the only enemy in the game to drop the rare item Mirror, which grants reflect to the whole party. However, the odds of this happening are very low. So it's all about finding that really, really rare item. I know some people go for runs in Final Fantasy VII, or just games in general, that are like item runs where they want to try and get all the items. 100% item completion. Which I don't get that choice of doing item completion, but hey, we all have our things. And yes, I am still looking for this single pixel. It is very annoying. Don't worry, we find it eventually. But it's just like, oh my gosh. It's quite annoying. But, the cool thing is, though, despite this part, you know, what we will do is we are going to fight a boss at the end. So, you know, it's cool. It's going to be good. But for now, we just gotta keep fighting. Just gotta keep fighting. I'm sorry I didn't cut that out. I was really excited to record this video, and I'm like, man, eventually, you know, 20 minutes, not gonna be too bad. But finding this stupid item, I think I eventually, do I just give up? Or do I actually... No, okay, right, I gave up. I just looked up the code online. It's in that room somewhere. Find it yourself. I'm sorry. I have the code now. The code is... Let's see here. We're going to put it in. Now, this is actually difficult, too. Surprisingly. So you put in the first number, and you have 20 seconds to put them all in. And you can only go one way. So as you can see here, it's like you got to get up to 36. You got to go all the way down to the next number. You have to go all the way back up. It's tough. And especially, I don't know if this is because of the way it is done on the PS4, but it's really difficult. So, yeah, so the last digit is written in invisible ink. So on the menu where it said dial 1, 2, 3 to give you the hints, it's really tough. But what you can, like, to figure this out, but basically where it says dial 1, 2, 3, you press down and there, it's hidden but still accessible by the menu. And it's 97 is the last one. So, what we want to do is open this safe. So it's right 36, left 10, right 59, right 97. It's tough, but you can do it. Thankfully, it's not randomized. So this boss is actually, according to the guide, one of the most difficult ones you'll face so far. To which I'd say, yeah, would be if it wasn't for the fact that I was able to come pretty prepared. But there we go. We did it. Success. Except, joke's on you. We got a boss. This is a lost number. So basically, it's like a half and half creature, but once its health hits 50%, it will transform into either a full purple or full orange version, depending on what you use to take it down. To use magic, it will transform to a full magic-based one, which will only be resistant to magic, and will only cast magic spells. To use physical, it will use physical. So it says the physical form is more difficult to deal with, but I think I go for it in the end, don't I? I don't know. It is susceptible to poison. Use poison. Also, Big Guard. Really important to use, because Big Guard is like, it's pretty strong. Now we do have Aqua Lung, and Aqua Lung is ridiculously powerful. Like, dang, that's a lot for now. But I didn't have too much of a trouble with it because, of course, I was using the guide. I did have Aqua Lung and Big Guard. Man, enemy skills wreck this game. You feel broken when you have them. And it's not like they're even super difficult to get. It's just you gotta go know where. But, like, they are powerful. I would actually really like, you know, for them to bring the enemy skills back into the 7 remake. I don't know how, but I feel like it would just to have those powers. Also, to still have Barrett shoot missiles out of his butt in HD would be amazing. So, yeah, no. This boss, I didn't have trouble with. But according to the guide, people do. So, let's see here. Since lost number drops the unique and normally unduplicatable blank is the spoiler, the player may want to duplicate it by means of the repeating boss glitch. What is the repeating boss glitch? Oh, the player must skip a random battle by opening a menu the instant the game wants to give a random encounter. There's no particular benefit to having 2 of this item, however. Okay, well, Thanks. Okay. As you can see, we got it to be all purple. It's kind of a neat, interesting idea. But he literally comes out of nowhere. And I have no idea how they're going to represent this in the HD version. Like, it makes no sense. It's weird. It's weird, but I like it. But it's very strange. The lost number's name and appearance, as well as the location where it's thought, all imply it is... Oh, okay. I see. That kind of makes sense, actually. And his purple form, not the orange form, but the full purple form, bears a very similar appearance to the Chocobo Eater from Final Fantasy X. And, you know, now that I see it, yeah, no, you're right. It actually kind of does. They've reused designs before in these games with different names, and I don't think that's bad, you know? Man, my favorite thing, though, is playing Final Fantasy 15 and seeing how a lot of the enemies are just straight up based on the concept art from the original Final Fantasy, even ones that never actually got into the game. It's so cool. You know, I love that. That's one of my favorite things. Oh yeah, Tifa's butt missiles, let's go. That did nothing, but you know what? It was worth it. I don't know why I'm using magic when he's supposed to be resistant to magic here. The good news is, poison. It's not something that is very easy to resist. Poison is great. When bosses are susceptible to poison, that is like one of my favorite things in games. Because like 99% of the time it's not going to work. But like here I was like, nah man, I'm going to do it. So yeah, you're going to want to use physical attacks, unlike me who's being a dummy and using all that stuff. But thankfully I got a bunch of, I got my limit break here. Which deal sick damage. And that's it. That was the lost number. Not a terribly difficult boss for me, but apparently it is for other people. So we got the Cosmo Memory. Now this is an item that once you get all of Red 13's limit breaks, he will get his most powerful limit break from it. We cannot use this at this moment, but later on, we might be able to use it. I hope. Maybe, we'll see. We got the key to the basement, and finally, we got the materia for Odin. So next time, guys, let's head down to the basement and actually recruit that character I was talking about. So we will see you all next time, guys, for some more Final Fantasy VII. Ciao. You can push yourself to the limit, be a short line jump with me. You can fly above the rainbow with me for just and just believe. Nothing's gonna stop you and me from getting into every one while the speakers kick in.